The long-waited 4-hour long Chiefs cut of Equity League showed up Thursday on HBO Max. Collected from long stretches of unused film and cut along with recently shot scenes, the Snyder Cut is a peculiarity in media outlets. Driven by a years-long fan-driven web-based media crusade, Zack Snyder got another opportunity at making his adaptation of Equity League. Warner Media, which is possessed by AT&T, saw the intense campaign for Snyder's true cut of the film as an approach to assuage enthusiastic fans and cushion its web-based feature HBO Max with selective substance. Notwithstanding, the danger is Equity League may not repay the profits that Warner Media needs it to. The film sets up spin-offs that DC fans may never will see, which means regardless of whether it prevails with regards to attracting endorsers for the period of March, there's no guarantee of new DC-related substance not too far off for the real-time feature to keep those new recruits around. Introductory assessments fixed the sticker price for Snyder's second take at $20 million to $30 million on the grounds that a significant number of the PC-created pictures were not wrapped up. Nonetheless, later gauges recommend Warner Media might have dished out $70 at least million on the venture as Snyder brought back a few entertainers to shoot new material. It's hazy if that figure remembers spending for promoting. Warner Media declined to remark on the task's monetary footing. The expense could be supported if Warner Media utilizes the film to acquire endorsers and urges sufficient current supporters of stick with the assistance, said media and streaming expert Dan Rayburn. What may help is that HBO Max has a few prominent deliveries going to its foundation in March and early April. On March 31st, Godzilla vs. Kong shows up on the assistance, and, on April 16th, Mortal Kombat will be delivered. Each will go through about a month on HBO Max prior to making a beeline for video on interest for a rental charge. This methodology of have a reliable constant flow of new substance can help in holding supporters. And afterward there are the fans. While Snyder and DC Films president Walter Hamada have both said this refreshed Equity League won't generate side projects or naturally set up a spin-off, the film permits Warner Bros. To recover some kindness. Fan administration I unquestionably think fans will be satisfied, said Eric Davis, overseeing editorial manager of Fandango. Davis, who had the option to see the new Equity League in front of its dispatch on HBO Max, said the Snyder Cut is a vastly improved rendition of the film. The Snyder Cut fundamentally eradicates co-essayist and co-chief Joss Whedon from the film. Whedon had been brought and stalled after Chiefs recoiled from Snyder's underlying cut of the film and took over when Snyder left the task after the passing of his little girl. Whedon thinned down Snyder's 214-minute form and permeated it with snapshots of levity, something Warner Bros. Needed to mirror the satire style that was effective in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Since Whedon's variant changed such an extensive amount Snyder's work, fans have clamored to see the Chiefs' cut of Equity League, trusting it to be the most perfect form of the film. In May 2020, Warner Media allowed them that wish and put resources into taking Snyder back to complete it. While fans will be satisfied to at last have Snyder's cut, there's a significant deficiency in Warner Bros. .2 plans with delivering this film. At the point when Snyder was creating Equity League over 5 years prior, the DC Extended Universe was required to keep growing with this cast similarly that the MCU had unfurled. Solo motion pictures would incorporate together into group-up films. Ben Affleck should have his own independent component and Snyder was at that point discussing a spin-off of Equity League. Notwithstanding, that arrangement is totally unique in 2021. The entirety of the appearances and arrangements in Snyder's cut of the film won't probably ever be seen by DC fans. Affleck might be appended to the forthcoming Streak film, yet it's dubious on the off chance that he will wear the cowl in any DC project after that. Also, Warner Bros. Has effectively proceeded with another Batman film featuring Robert Pattinson, one that doesn't associate with any of the past motion pictures delivered by the studio. With respect to Superman, Henry Cavill is as yet appended to the job, however it's not satisfactory when or where his form of the character will show up straight away. The studio has plans for a Superman reboot from essayist Ta-Nehisi Coates, and with J.J. Abrams endorsed on as a maker. It's hazy who will be given a role as the Kryptonian, or when that film will discover its approaches to theaters. What's more, Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg, has a frayed relationship with the studio. The entertainer blamed Whedon for on-set provocation and an examination was directed. Fisher likewise had cruel comments about DC's head, Hamada, who he asserted empowered Whedon's activities. Thusly, Fisher has said he will avoid any film related with Hamada. In this way, Warner Bros. Would have to rework the job on the off chance that they needed to bring Cyborg back into the overlap for a group-up flick. Warner Bros. .2 choice to subsidize and deliver this new equity league may conciliate fans, however it never really furthered the realistic universe of the establishment. Disney, which possesses Marvel, has utilized its web-based feature Disney Plus to develop its dramatic deliveries. Shows like WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki all tie straightforwardly to the MCU and should be watched to see the entirety of the subtlety of forthcoming component films. The Snyder Cut doesn't do that. It exists in a vacuum, reinforcing HBO Max concerning the expectation that fans will rush to HBO Max to see the film, boosting supporter numbers. What is important is the lifespan of their advantage. Is it acceptable business? Possibly, said Sean Robbins, boss examiner at boxoffice.com. As an irregular delivery, the film may help HBO Max memberships immediately, however decorations are most grounded with roundabout and week-after-week content that keeps easygoing purchasers returning for many jours. Robbins noticed that Equity League is a specialty film in that its viewership socioeconomic slant youthful and male. Thus, while it will probably bait in aficionados of DC, it may not do a lot to move the needle on membership recruits in all cases, except if they are attracted to other HBO Max content. Equity League alone may not be the response to the organization's future necessities, particularly since the DC brand has effectively begun moving in different ways inventively. However, it might prevail as an emblematic Valentine to fans, Robbins said. AT&T is by all accounts feeling certain about HBO Max. The organization helped its endorser projections a week ago to a scope of between $120 million and $150 million for HBO Max and HBO before the finish of 2025. In October 2019, the organization set an objective of hitting 50 million U.S. supporters by 2025, a moderately low bar considering premium link channel HBO previously had around 33 million endorsers in front of the web-based features Dispatch. All things considered, there is by all accounts somewhat of a botched and open door in delivering Equity League before HBO Max grows all around the world. The stage is set to be delivered in around 60 business sectors outside the US this year and will dispatch a cheaper form with promoting in June. Equity League earned most of its $658 million in ticket deals universally. It just counted $230 million at the US film industry. WarnerMedia might have effortlessly utilized Equity League as a bait for global dispatches. All things being equal, almost certainly, the film, which will stream in top-quality state-side, will be a decision focus for global computerized privateers.